Once upon a time, there lived a man named Raghavan in a village called Ramanathapuram. Raghavan was a very talented and intelligent individual. He was very street smart and had a lot of wisdom in his mind. But no matter what happened, he was always a man of his word. But now, he was at the age of getting married. His father looks at him and says this.
My son Raghavan, I am thinking of getting you married to a nice girl. I find a girl for you. What do you say?
You're right. Even I want to get married. But I have to make sure I find the right girl for me. So I have decided to search all over the nation to find the girl.
Searching all over the nation for the right girl is a great task. You could visit all the temples and all the villages to find the girl that would be suitable for you. She would make a great daughter-in-law for our house. I wish you nothing but the best on your journey. All the best, my son.
Raghavan gets the blessings and the permission of his father, and he sets his journey to find the girl that he wants to marry. On the other side, there was a businessman named Vishnuguptan. He had a son named Rajaraghavan. He tried to get his son married several times, but was always rejected due to how ugly Rajaraghavan's face was. In this situation, one fine day Vishnuguptan sees Raghavan walking slowly on the riverside. After seeing Raghavan, Vishnugupta looks at Raghavan and says this.
Hi, my friend. Who are you? I never seen you in this place before. You seem like a man for a higher status family. What is it that you want?
Hello, sir. My name is Raghavan. I am coming from Ramanathapuram. I am here to make my journey to Kasi.
You seem like a very young man and you are very good looking and handsome. You should be thinking about getting married at this age. Why are you going to Kasi?
I do want to get married, sir, which is why I am going around all these temples and these pilgrimages to find the right girl for me.
That is a very good idea. I would like to ask you for a help. You should help me. You should not refuse my request. Helping me would not cause you any harm or any loss. Can I ask you my request?
You are a senior. If you ask me for a favor, I will definitely help you. Please tell me what you want, sir.
I have a son named Rajendran, but he is not as good looking and handsome as you are. In fact, he is a very ugly individual, which is why all the women that we are approached for marriage are rejecting us all the time. I am about to leave to propose for marriage to a woman named Lavanya, who lives in the outskirts of the city.
That is a very good thing. I wish you nothing but the best in finding your son a great wife for himself.
You wouldn't be this positive with your words if you have seen my son's face. Every girl rejects him because of how ugly and horrendous he looks like, which is the exact reason why I am asking you to help me.
But I don't understand what help can I be in this situation.
Listen to me, young man. All I want to do is pretend to be my son and marry the girl that I have selected. Once the marriage is fixed and once the wedding ceremony is over, after we cross the river, you can go back to your journey. I will go to my home with my daughter-in-law. I'll tell her that Raghavan is my real son. She has no choice. She wants to live with him.
But isn't this cheating? If the girl does come to your house, she will eventually find the truth. What would you do then?
You need not worry about that. Once a woman is married to a man, it would be dishonorable for her to leave the marriage at any given situation. Once she is married to my son, she would have no other choice than to be with him and live with him. You need not think about that too much. If you help me, you would be saving the honor of my entire family.
Unable to refuse the request, Raghavan accepts to marry Lavanya reluctantly. Vishnu then takes Raghavan in a boat and travels across the river to meet Shivan, the father of Lavanya. Shivan looks at both of them and says this.
Thanks for coming. I am also grateful to have you as my guest. You are most welcome. This is my son Rajendran. He is a very beautiful person inside and out. He is very talented and very intelligent.
Vishnuguptan introduces Raghavan as his own son to Shivan. Shivan looks at how beautiful Raghavan is and he says this to him.
You are a very handsome looking individual. You also seem like a kind of loving person that you suit my daughter's desires and needs. My daughter is a very lucky person. Come, let us eat and then talk about the rest.
She even thinks that Raghavan is actually Vishnuguptan's son. After a while, he shows his daughter to Vishnuguptan and Raghavan. And then he agrees to have his daughter get married to Raghavan.
My son seems to like your daughter very much. If you are also in agreement, to liking my son for marriage. We can finalize this right here and now. We also like your son very much, but we have spoken to our astrologer and he told us that tomorrow is a very auspicious and fortunate day. It will only come once in every year. I would suggest both of you to stay here in my place for the night and let us finalize this marriage tomorrow. Are you okay with that? Of course, we are okay with that. We shall absolutely do whatever you say. I would suggest we do it earlier, but this is fine with me.
Vishnuguptan and Raghavan agreed to stay in their house that night. While they were sleeping, Raghavan wakes up in the middle of the night as he is not tired. He goes away outside of the house to get some fresh air. After walking for a long time, he goes near a tree. While he was standing there, he hears a creepy laughing noise. Was unable to recognize where the noise is coming from. He says this to himself.
Who is this laughing? I cannot see anybody. Who are you? Show yourself.
As Raghavan kept calling, a huge demon arrived in front of his eyes. Raghavan couldn't believe what he was seeing and he was absolutely scared. The demon looked at Raghavan and says this.
Hey youngster, I have been hungry for a long time and I was waiting for someone to come in this part so that I can devour them. I am glad to see you here because I am going to eat you alive.
Sir, I am here to help another person. My generation's legacy is of men who once gave their word will never take it back. If you kill me and eat me alive right now, my soul will never rest in peace and I will end up haunting everybody in this vicinity. But if you let me marry the woman that I want, tomorrow I shall be here right in front of you for you to eat me. You can trust me. I will never take back my words once given.
What are you talking about? Do you think I am stupid? So if I let you go now, you are telling me that you would come tomorrow at the same place to be eaten by me? How do I know you are not lying?
I am a man who never falters on a promise that I had given to somebody. Even though I do not like to cheat a woman and marry her, I am doing it because I gave my word to an old father. Therefore, I would like to let you know that I will never ever fall back on a promise that I have given.
I am surprised by you, but I am inclined to believe your words as you look like a genuine and loyal person to me. I will be waiting here tomorrow for you to come here so that I can hit you. And if by any chance you do not come here at the right time, I shall come to the wedding myself and eat every single person there. Because of your deceitful nature, several lives will be lost.
I guarantee you, sir, that I will be here on time for you to eat me. I shall keep my promise and I shall come back.
The next day, Raghavan and Lavanya get married. That night, Raghavan and Lavanya are sent to a room, and Raghavan does not pay a single moment of attention towards Lavanya. Lavanya looks at Raghavan and she wonders why he isn't talking to him. Lavanya thinks that maybe she did something wrong and that is why her handsome husband is upset at her. Lavanya pretends to go to sleep and Raghavan notices this. Raghavan says this to himself.
It looks like my wife is asleep. I have fulfilled the promise that I gave to Vishnuguptan. Now I shall go and fulfill the promise that I gave to the demon.
That night, Raghavan then gets out of the house and walked towards the area where he met the demon. His wife Lavanya secretly starts following him to see where and what is he doing in the middle of the night. As Raghavan got near, the demon spotted him and said this to him.
Congratulations, youngster. You have kept your word and you have saved several lives. You are an honorable man and I would be a privilege for me to eat you. Get over here right now so that I can eat you. Come over here. I am so hungry.
Raghavan's wife interferes and she is shocked to see the demon. But after a while, she realizes that the demon is about to eat her husband. When she realizes this, she looks at the demon and she says this. Sir, please let him go. This is unfair.
Who are you, lady? Oh, you must be the wife of Raghavan. You seem like a very young and intelligent lady. You should run away right now, as I am hungry and I am about to eat your husband.
If you're so hungry, please eat me. Do not eat him. Because if you eat him, What will I do with my life?
I don't care what you do with your life. You can go and beg for money or do anything you want to.
If you kill my husband, who will take care of me? My life would be terrible, so I suggest you to eat me.
Alright, I shall give you a curse that would help you. Whoever does not give you money will have their heads explode. You can have this curse, and now I shall proceed to eat your husband as I am hungry.
If that is the case, okay then. I shall ask you right away. I want you to give me a husband right now. The demon was shocked that Lavanya had asked him this. He was quite surprised that she used his own curse against him. This impressed him very much. The demon looked at Lavanya and said this.
Congratulations, lady. You have outsmarted me in every way you possibly can. If I refuse your request to keep your husband alive, my head will explode and I will die. And if I let go of your husband, I will die out of starvation. You are the perfect wife for your husband. You both can live now and live happily.
Raghavan was really glad that his wife saved his life that day. But he feels guilty that he hasn't told her the truth about who he is yet. The next day, Raghavan, his wife, Vishnugupta and her father travelled towards Vishnugupta's house. When they reach the river, Vishnuguptan brings Raghavan to the side and says this to him.
My friend Raghavan, I will forever be indebted for you for what you have done for my family and my legacy. But from today onwards, you and me should never ever see each other again. You are not my son and I am not your father. After we cross this river, my son will take over your position as husband. And I want you to be gone so far as you can possibly go, okay?
Raghavan feels guilty that he had cheated Lavanya, but he also remembers the promise that he had given to Vishnuguptan. He then decides to abide by the promise that he gave him, and he says this to Vishnugupta.
That girl Lavanya is a very good girl. Please take good care of her and make sure that all her needs and requirements are met.
My son will take care of it. You can leave right now.
As they were all getting onto the boats, Vishnuguptan pays the boat rider of Raghavan extra money so that he can sink him and kill him in the middle of the river. As Vishnuguptan and Lavanya kept travelling in the boat, Lavanya becomes suspicious of this as her husband was not found for a very long time. Lavanya goes to Vishnugupta and says this. Sir, everybody has arrived, but where is Raghavan? He is not to be seen.
Oh, you are asking me about your husband? This is your husband. Can't you see? Why are you so doubtful?
When Lavanya looked at Vishnuguptan's son, she was quite disgusted by how horrendous his face looked. Realizing that Vishnuguptan had cheated him, Lavanya starts crying, and after a while, Lavanya says this to Vishnuguptan. Are you trying to tell me this ugly man is my husband? Let us see who is right or wrong. I want to go and complain to the king. Vishnuguptan becomes really afraid when he thinks about the fact that Lavanya would actually go and complain to the king. He realizes that the consequences could be the death penalty for him. He gets afraid.
I am so sorry, lady. I will not force you to marry my son. You can go back to your own house and I will not see you again.
After saying this, Vishnugupta then sends Lavanya back to her home in a boat. On the other side, Raghavan is drowning in the water as he can barely swim. But somehow, Raghavan tries his best to keep his head off the surface of the water and he manages to reach land. After a lot of struggle, Raghavan reaches land. He gets up and he says this to himself.
Vishnuguptan is a traitor and he had cheated me. I think this is because of the sin that I committed by cheating that young and beautiful girl. To make this right, I have to go back to our house and tell everything that I had occurred so that my sins can be forgiven.
Raghavan goes to Shivani's house to see and apologize to him. But he is pleasantly surprised to see Lavanya in the house as well.
Lavanya,
Where have you gone all this while? I was very worried about you. I thought Vishnuguptan had did something terrible to you. But anyway, I'm so happy to have you here.
That is alright, Lavanya, but you have to listen to everything that I have to say.
No, I don't want to listen to anything. I know you're a man of your word and you would keep your promise no matter what. I don't want to know under what circumstance you did this and I will not ask you. Let us live happily from now on.
Thank you so much for understanding.
Raghavan and Lavanya get together and fall in love. Raghavan is glad that he has finally found the woman that he loves. As they go back to Raghavan's house, Raghavan introduces Lavanya to his parents and they both live happily ever after.
If you like this story, do like it, share it. For more new stories, please subscribe our New Stories Book English YouTube channel.